I got a card from Uncle Sam. It said, we want your service.
We want you.
They drafted you. Back in those days, I would try to join up, but they wouldn't accept you.
Yeah.
Each county is supposed to furnish so many soldiers or Marines or whatever you join, and so they wouldn't let me sign up. They said wait till you're called, and pretty shortly I got my call, and went to Hattiesburg to Camp Shelby, and they run you through there. I had a friend of mine that was a teacher at junior college at Poplarville, and Graham McDonald. He said that I don't know why they sent me up here. He says I can't see very good, and I'm no good. So next time I seen him, he had his uniform on, and I said, "Well, you made it, Graham." He said, "Yeah, they fell to me, and if I was warm, they took you." That's Graham McDonald. And
what time of did you go in? Do you remember?
that was last part of 41. It was 42, and it was January, I believe, when I went in. But that was December, and it was raining. It was in Hattiesburg. It was sleeting and cold, and you had to stand out in long lines with that sleet coming down.
Just toughening you up.
So after Camp Shelby, you went over to England, or did you go somewhere else?
No, I went to Camp Lee, Virginia at first, and I went through basic up there. Then they sent me to a place down in Texas to toughen me up, I guess, because it was in springtime. Then it was hot, and then I went to New York and to camp. It was a little camp. They said it was real secret. It was Camp Shanks, New York. But I'd never been to New York, so I decided I would go to New York and see the sights, especially Coney Island. And I said, well, I'm going overseas. What could be worse than that? So I went out that night and went to Coney Island, and then I was just having a ball, and I said, well, if I could just, with all these many people, just do what they wanted to, nobody would know you. About that time, somebody said, hey, Tercy. I didn't pay any attention because of all that many people I knew. Nobody knew me. He said, hey, Tercy Smith. It was far from Poplarville, and recognized me and all that group. And here's a girl come by, and we got acquainted, and she showed me all the sights. And even went to town in New York. And I said, well, I got to get back to camp. I'm supposed to go overseas. And she said, I said, I wasn't supposed to leave. It's supposed to be a secret camp. She said, Camp Shanks? And I said, yeah. How do you know about it? She said, everybody knows about Camp Shanks. So she showed me how to get back. She took me back, said, there's the gate. And so that's the first time I saw New York through there.
And then over to England?
Oh, on the Queen Mary. I went on the Queen Mary. I loaded on the Queen Mary, and they was in a hurry to get me there then.
Yep.
And it was only, I believe, 4 days to get me there.
Wow.
And they would zigzag. I asked one of the English sailors why not just go straight? He said, well, it takes a submarine, and later found out that the Germans had a lot of subs in that North Atlantic. It takes a sub 3 or 4 minutes to line up so they can shoot a torpedo. And so if they go this way about 2 or 3 minutes, and then they go that way, and that's the way we went overseas. Big zigzag. You'd lay down and get comfortable one way, and about that time that boat would sink, turn, and that's the way it happened.
And where did you go in England?
We landed in Scotland. That it wasn't. I don't think they had any ports at that time that handled a big boat like Queen Mary. So we landed in Scotland, and we unloaded on a ship. And they was playing. They had a whole group of people, and they was playing the bagpipes.
Oh.
That was a terrible noise to me, but some of them boys really enjoyed it. But they was playing the bagpipes.
Yep.
And there I went to England by train, and to Wichbach. No, that was in Germany. Went to a little town north of Southampton, and Southampton's down on the coast. That's where we shipped out from, going across the straits there to France.
Le Havre, right?
Yeah, went to Le Havre. And so that's where I got acquainted with English. But
Were y'all in England very long?
we was over there several months. We found out that they found out that our tanks wouldn't withstand the 88 guns that the Germans had, so we was adding reinforcements to the side, so they'd take it. I went to London on a pass. I wanted to see London and Big Ben and all like that. And there was buzz bombs just coming over then. If you could hear the motor, you was all right. It was going on. But once that motor quit, that means that bomb was coming down. And they call them buzz bombs. So it hit that building I was in that night, and I got jarred out of bed. But I didn't run to no stable. I just crawled back in bed and finished the night out. But Germans sent in buzz bombs. They call them buzz bombs. It sounded like a motorcycle engine on a long bomb, about long as this room. And when that motor quit, they had so much fuel in something that they would quit when they got to England. And that's just every few minutes you'd hear one. As long as it went on, you was all right. But that motor quit, you better hunt a foxhole. It would come down.
So, sometime in 1942, you landed in France?
Yeah. Landed in Le Havre and went up through France.
Went over to France on a boat?
Yeah, one of them left down in front, LSD.
Okay.
They drove up to the beach, let that thing down, and I was in charge of a gasoline truck. It was as long as them 2 rooms, because they were beginning to run out of gas and diesel. And so we run up there and thing. And that old captain of the boat said, "You get this thing off of my boat." And I got in there and it wouldn't even start. Well, I said, "This thing belongs to you much as it does me. You help me get it off." We found a little dozer and he pulled it off, and I cranked it and I took it on up past Le Havre and on across the service group, and I said, "Here's your truck. I just brought it to you."
Had the Battle of the Bulge started yet, or?
No, that was right after the landing.
Oh, that was right after D-Day?
Well,
Yeah.
it was.
That was shortly, about 4 days, I guess, long enough that they began to
So that was
short of fuel.
summer 42.
Yeah.
Because D-Day was June 7th,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
June the what, 4th?
June 6th was the main landing on Normandy.
Well, about the 10th, 11th, something like that.
Yep.
About 3-4 days, long enough if they could get enough piece and begin to run short of fuel.
Yep.
So they had a big gasoline and diesel truck.
So
Yeah.
where to after?
Never drove one in my life. And the sergeant said, well, that's yours. Take it over there.
Huh.
I said, you like me a whole lot. I said, one bullet in that thing and I'm gone. Truck and all.
And where'd you take the truck?
I took it to up to the town of Little Harv and found a service group and turned it over to them. They put it in smaller trucks and take it around to these tank companies and truck companies. You see, when they unloaded the ship with supplies, they had to have trucks over there to take it to the different companies. Food and water, you know, and so, but the service companies takes put it in smaller trucks, gasoline trucks, and takes it to the different companies if they need it.
Yep.
Some it just takes diesel and they go to fill up the tanks. And some it's gasoline and they take these trucking companies.
Where'd you go after that?
I reported to a service company and got tied in with a group from well, my company hadn't got there yet, and from Australia, and I enjoyed these Australians. They were quite a bunch. They'd go up through there, and I stayed with them so my company called up, and they'd get up to where it was rough, and they'd stop in there, they'd get out to stuff, and I said, what are you doing? Oh, we gonna make a spot of tea. I said, you gonna get killed drinking tea? Oh, we gonna have a spot of tea. They were real unconcerned group.
When did you go with your group to Rouen?
Yeah, I come up with them after they all come over, and every now and then we were called to other companies for service. One time I was supposed to take some rifles to a company. That was after we went through France and Belgium and Holland, and we was up in Germany, and they said that I was supposed to take some shells and guns up to. The sergeant called on me for a lot. He said, if you're from Mississippi, you ought to know how to do everything. And I was supposed to take, I forget the name of the company, some rifles. And I was driving along, and I hit the Rhine River, and it was a nice road right upside the river. And I was just driving along and enjoying it. And it was just sundown. And it was I had the lights on the truck, and it was a soldier in the bushes, and he stepped out and done that. He gave me the flag, and I stopped. I said, I was looking for a sea company, I believe, and I said, is that him across the river? He said, no, that's Germans. He said, you better put those lights out. He said, I don't see how you got this far. And, so it was a lot of confusion sometimes. Yeah, I was riding on near by the side of the Germans. He said, I don't know why they didn't shoot with 88 across there. This little river, it's not like Pearl River. It wasn't all that big. And I thought I could see activity over there, trucks and a fire every now and then. And I thought it was our boys. It was Germans.
Did you ever see any Germans up close? Dead or alive?
Yeah. going up through France, I was going that supply. Like I say, it's hard to simply get some things and get some. Which was run out there